there has been, obviously in the first, 8 months of this coalition government, there's been a lot of issues swirling around, particularly to do with local government and Three Waters, and also Māori wards as well. And many, I think about roughly half of all councils that we've talked about before have Māori wards in this country. But there is one particular council in the far north that has, and they're certainly not alone in that, Rotorua would have as well, recently elected a Māori mayor. Moko Tepania was elected in 2022. And I'm looking at the composition of the Far North District Council, and I guess it reflects its community. There's lots of Delhi names there. Mate Radich, John Vucic, Penatoi Kleskovich, Penatoi, I think that, Penatoi. And there are a lot of Māori candidates there as well. So I guess you look at the Far North District Council, you say, wow, that is representative, having had dear friends of mine come from that area as well. But joining us to talk about Māori wards, about Three Waters, about representation, and about the Far North in general is the mayor of that particular area, Moko Tepania, and he joins us now. Welcome, Your Worship. Lovely to have you on.
Hey, kia ora Michael. Good morning. Nice to be on the show.
Listen, I'm looking at the composition of your council, mate. It's just Maoris and Delhis, isn't it?
Isn't that what we've got up here in the Far North?
Yeah,
no, we've got a wicked council. I really appreciate the fact that our last election has brought a really nice snapshot of our communities to the table. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's good. But the interesting thing to me, though, is, Moko, you were elected in your own right. You stood in the general area and you won, I think, just narrowly, but hey, you are the mayor. You were elected. This is democracy. And I'm looking at the composition of your council. Māori obviously have no difficulty getting elected in the Far North.
No. Well, I got on council in the previous term,
right.
Just before we had introduced the Māori wards. A few other councillors Hakapapa Māori as well. So, no, that's right.
So, do you need Māori wards if clearly people select the best candidate irrespective of their ethnicity?
Well, the thing is in our last representation review, where you go out and you ask the communities, how do you want to be represented? Astoundingly, we had feedback from Far Northerners that they wanted to see us establish a Māori ward. And we had an informal survey, I think it was about 500 respondents, 85% in favour. And on top of that, our 13 iwi authorities, who half the time don't agree on everything, but Māori wards was one of the things they definitely agreed they wanted to see for our council.
So I'm looking now, you've got, 2 Māori ward councillors, is that right? 3?
4 Māori ward councillors based off our Māori electoral population. Okay,
so you've got a mayor, 4 Māori ward councillors, and how many general ward councillors would there be?
We have 3 in Bab Islands Whangaroa, 2 in Te Aku, and 1 for Kaikohe.
Okay, so you've got a council of 11, 4 Māori, 6 general, and you.
That's right.
Yeah. But I'm looking at your composition of your council now. I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of your 11 councillors would be of Māori descent?
I think we've got our 4 Māori ward councillors. Deputy Mayor Kelly Stretford is Hakapapa Māori as well. We've got Councillor Radich, who is also Māori descent at 6, myself 7, and 1, 2, 3, yeah, that we're right. 7.
Right. Okay, so again, I guess I'm asking, the government's going to be, or is passing a piece of legislation that requires you to have a referendum. I think it's at the election, isn't it? It's your local body election next year. Do you anticipate that a majority of people will vote for the continuation of Māori wards or not?
Oh, I mean, It's hard to tell. It'll be really interesting, I think, in the far north to see where it does go with this poll that we'll have to do. Although we will obviously have to, when the legislation passes, we can't discount the fact that a vote could come to disestablish the Māori ward, which would mean we wouldn't have a poll. But I probably won't see that going that way.
No.
But I think in the final thought it will actually be a really interesting poll to see where it lands. Our informal survey in our last representation review had that 85% in favour. And then personally, I just think our all of our councillors, but our Māori ward councillors have come to the table and are doing some really good work across our district. So we'll have to just wait and see. But we need this legislation to pass before we kind of kick into the next gear anyway.
Can I ask, of the 4 Māori ward councillors you've got, which I'm just looking at the moment, is it Tamati Rakana? You've got Penatoa. Is it Penatoa? Is that how? Penatoi Kleskovic. So he's obviously the mixed heritage there. You've got Hilda Hackyard Harawira. And who would be your 4th one?
Councillor Babe Kappa.
Oh, Babe Kappa, yeah. Would those 4, in your view, be re-elected if they have done the job over the last 3 years and they have a status in the wider or general community?
Yeah, or you never know with an election, right? Because you just got to go out and put your best foot forward. I'm not sure who out of I suppose we've got to start thinking about it because elections are going to be next year. But I'd say that our councillors from all of our wards will have pretty good chances at being re-elected with the work that they've all been doing across the far north. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Okay. You've also got 3 warders, which is in many ways probably a lot more prosaic and immediate for you, and that is dealing with the decision to disband 3 waters. You're a small council, the far north, and I'm sorry, I don't know you guys intimately, but I'm assuming you are not rich in terms of the socioeconomic status of your people. What sort of proposed rate increase are you looking at for the next 12 months?
We've gone out for consultation with a 16.5% average rate increase for the first year of our long-term plan.
And what after that? So that's 16.5% in the first year. What
I think it's about 16, 18, 6.
16, 18, 6. So that's 16, 8 and 6. Okay. So and most of that 16% increase, is that to deal with infrastructure or what?
Yeah, it's definitely a infrastructure long-term plan. We're one of the cyclone-affected councils, so we'll only be doing a 3-year rather than a 10-year long-term plan. Yeah. And it's a catch-up budget, to be honest. Trying to play catch-up on the weather bombs that hit the far north over the past 20 months, to be honest.
Right. And
then, of course, just our water infrastructure. It's all sort of coming to the end of life, so we really need to deal with that. So, our budget is not really full of nice to have. It's really just doubling down on the things that we need to get done.
Now, think far north, you'd have what, Kaitaia, Kaikoi would be in your area too, would it?
Yeah. So we are the 3rd largest geographic district in the North Island.
Yeah.
But we're like 5 hours long and 2 hours wide. 75,000 people are spread over 40 different towns and communities here in the far north. Our largest town is Kirikiri, which is population about 8,000. Then Kaitaia with about 6,000 and Kaikoi with 5,000. And then the rest is spread across all the different villages and settlements around the far north, which makes it very hard as a service provider to serve a population that is geographically so widespread. We have the second most waters infrastructure in the country after Southland District, which is another really large territorial authority. So it does make it very hard. We've got 16 wastewater treatment plants and 8 water treatment plants that we have to look after. And whether it's looking after a little settlement or whether it's looking after a big settlement, they all come with those same costs to get them sorted.
Yes, they do. So, I see your problem. Can you look after water yourself? Are you big enough? Do you have the rating base to be able to do the infrastructure that's required?
No, we don't have the rating base. I mean, we've got 30,000 ratepayers, and then for water's infrastructure, it's that cost just sits on those schemes. So that means that the rating pool is even smaller there to pull in to pay for all of that. Our current deficit is around $660 million just to address the water infrastructure that we have right now. We in no way, shape or form can afford that, right? $660 million sitting on 75,000 people. Say if we took the whole Far North's population, of which our socio-economic demographic is like deprivation index level 10 for most of our, 80% of our community. So unless we have external revenue or external funding streams to come to assist us, the people of the Far North are definitely being left high and dry.